The car dealership that tried to scam me didn't know I livestream car reviews for a living. I walked into Peterson Motors looking for a reliable used car under $15,000. I was dressed casually, jeans, sneakers, baseball cap, and driving my beat-up Honda that barely started that morning. The salesman Rick took one look at me and probably saw an easy mark. Young guy, old car, modest budget. Let me show you something perfect for your price range, Rick said, leading me to a 2015 sedan with 80,000 miles priced at $18,000. I mentioned my budget was $15,000, I reminded him. Trust me, this car is worth every penny. Clean title, one owner, pristine condition. I walked around the vehicle immediately noticing several red flags. Mismatched paint on the rear panel, uneven tire wear, and a slight musty smell inside that screamed flood damage. Rick, this car looks like it might have been in an accident, and possibly flood damage. Absolutely not, Rick said confidently. I personally guarantee this vehicle has never been in any accidents or floods. Clean Carfax report. He showed me a printed Carfax that looked legitimate, showing no accidents or damage history. Tell you what, Rick continued, because I like you, I can do $18,000 out the door. That includes our premium warranty and extended service package. What Rick didn't know was that I run a YouTube channel called Honest Car Reviews with 400,000 subscribers. I've inspected thousands of vehicles and can spot fraud from across a parking lot. Can I take a closer look under the hood? I asked. Of course. See? Engine bay is spotless. The engine had been steam cleaned recently. A classic move to hide flood damage. I also noticed aftermarket wiring that didn't match factory specs. Rick, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this car has flood damage. I told you absolutely not. Our reputation depends on honest dealing. I pulled out my phone. Do you mind if I check the VIN number myself? The Carfax is right there. Why would you need to check again? Just want to be thorough. I ran the VIN through 3 different databases while Rick watched nervously. All 3 showed the same thing. Flood damage from Hurricane Ida, total loss claim, and rebuilt title. Rick, this car was totaled in a flood. It has a rebuilt title, not a clean title. That's impossible. Let me see that. I showed him my phone screen. Rick's face went pale as he realized I'd exposed his scam. There must be some mistake in the system, he stammered. The mistake is you trying to sell a flood-damaged car with a fake Carfax report. Now wait a minute. I'm actually a car reviewer with a pretty large YouTube following. I was thinking about featuring your dealership, but this changes things. Rick's attitude shifted immediately. Look, maybe we got our wires crossed. Let me talk to my manager about getting you a better deal. The deal isn't the problem, Rick. The problem is you're committing fraud. I started recording with my phone. This is exactly the kind of predatory dealership behavior my subscribers need to know about. Please don't record. We can work something out. You just tried to sell me a flood-damaged car for $18,000 using a fabricated Carfax report. Rick was sweating now. That was an honest mistake. Sometimes our paperwork gets mixed up. Mixed up? You personally guaranteed this car was never in a flood. I kept recording as Rick called over his manager, who tried to do damage control. Sir, I'm sure there's been a misunderstanding. We'd never knowingly misrepresent a vehicle. I showed the manager the real Carfax on my phone versus their fake printout. Your salesman just committed fraud on camera. I have everything recorded. The manager's face went white. Please, we can make this right. What would you like us to do? I'd like you to stop scamming people. I posted the video that evening, how Peterson Motors tried to scam me with a flood car and fake Carfax. Within 24 hours, it had 200,000 views and thousands of comments from people sharing similar experiences at the same dealership. Local news picked up the story. The state attorney general launched an investigation, and the Better Business Bureau was flooded with complaints. 3 weeks later, Peterson Motors lost their dealer license. Rick was fired, and the manager faced criminal fraud charges. But the best part? My subscribers started a campaign called Carfax Challenge, where they verify dealer claims and expose fraud attempts. We've now documented over 50 cases of dealer fraud, helping save customers hundreds of thousands of dollars. Rick tried messaging me on social media asking me to take down the video because he couldn't find another job in car sales. I replied, maybe try a career where honesty is optional. Sometimes the best car review is the one that prevents people from getting scammed.